Hi there, Lissa Wheeler here, one of your fellow IMTers, and I am excited to tell you that Chris Albrecht and I have been working on a course over the past year and are getting ready to launch it this April on Advanced Infectious Disorders, and it is going to be April 27th to April 29th in Bloomfield, Connecticut. And the day before, Chris A. is going to teach a one-day review of Infectious Disorders 1 for any of you that like to review. And for certainly, if you haven't had it, I would also like to welcome those of you that are new to come take the review and then come join us in the adventure of this new material. So this course started about a year ago, and both Chris A. and I had an interest in exploring Epstein-Barr virus. And so we just naturally started creating lots of material about that and learning more and more about it, and took us into a deeper path into understanding the whole immune system. And then we started exploring Lyme in a deeper way and exploring a lot of other kinds of pathogens. And learning all how you get this coupling process, how a lot of these pathogens kind of work together and collude to keep their societies running. And the thing about Epstein-Barr that's interesting is it's a very wily, savvy virus, and it's not only when it's living that it's causes a lot of problem, but the neurotoxins that are released as it's dying, they can go on and on and on for years, creating a lot of problems, and becomes this perpetual process. And we're finding that Epstein-Barr is really kind of this underlying, it can be this underlying milieu of just weakening the immune system and creating other problems. So this was definitely a continuation of the basic infectious disorders class, and understanding that when you get the basic viral bacterial load down, you go through all the basic detox, that wonderful detox in the basic course, and you get the body to a certain level of being cleaned out, that you have access to more of these latent reservoirs of infection, and more of this, you can start to really uncouple a lot of these pathogens. A lot of them get hypercoupled with heavy metals, and we've done a lot of work, a deeper work with the heavy metals, exploring other metals, and plastics is another one that the pathogens can get hypercoupled with, and learning how to really uncouple that and be able to have access and clean it up. And then Epstein-Barr in particular it just covers the gamut of so many systemic issues. I mean, it can get into the musculoskeletal system, it can get into organ systems, it can affect your emotions. As I said, it's a very wily virus. So it's been very interesting to explore how to start to use IMT as a tool to help these patterns shift. Let's see. Oh, and so I'm looking at Chris A. Chris A. sent me, be sure to mention this in what you say. So learning how to access all these pathogens is going to be a big piece of the course, how to feel for the different PFMs, and how to feel for the quality of when something's hypercoupled, and then what happens when you start to get them separated out, and what the body starts to express as that happens. So a little flavor of what we're going to be presenting. So we'll be there's a lot for Epstein-Barr and how all the different systems that it interfaces with, and how to start to get that, address those systems, getting it uncoupled from other pathogens as well as the heavy metals, working with the latent reservoir of infection, Let's see. And then we have a whole new section on Lyme, going and breaking that down into more detail. And as I said before, a lot more detail with the heavy metals. Let's see. And then what these corpses. So you get the Epstein-Barr corpse, you get the Lyme corpse. So you even think that, once you kill it, then it's gone. But no, these corpses have their own toxicity that can just create a lot of havoc in the system, and learning how to address that. So, and of course, we get into looking at through the different planes. So you can look through the plane of the physical, the transverse plane. You can look through the plane of the coronal plane and through the sagittal plane. Each one has its own unique piece. And one thing I wanted to give you as a freebie is showing you the PFM, the patterning for unoccupied spaces, because when there's an unoccupied space, which means you're not fully present in that part of your body or that tissue area or that system, that's an invitation for pathogenic activity. So getting more of you present in your tissue or in that system makes it less likely for a pathogen to be able to take over that area. So the pattern is, I drew it in a little note here, I call them drunken circles. So doesn't that kind of look like a drunken circle? And they move, they're sort of like these kind of loopy, like a circle walking home from the bar, it's like, oh, they're kind of a little tipsy. And you can have multiple circles. And you will find these in areas of unoccupied spaces, and you can resist that motility, and that is a way to start to bring more healthy life force into the area. So I hope that's a tantalizing appetizer, and that you can be curious about this material. And I look forward to seeing you at the class if you decide to come. Thank you.